Well, hi. So this week's video is all about how to generate your own happiness. I think we all know that inside of ourselves we have the ability for very, very, very many different types of emotions, and emotions can come and go, come and go and come and go and switch out very, very quickly depending on environment, events, and what our internal landscape of thought and heart matter is actually doing. So if you've watched any of my YouTube videos, majoritively you'll find that I just completely and utterly lose it at some stage and start laughing. And this is actually my natural state. That's who I am. So was I born that way? Have I become that way? It's a very good question. I think some people are born more optimistic than others, and life shapes people in lots of different ways. But, you know, through illness, through hardship, through heartache, through many different experiences of any life, we all still have choice. And I think we have, you know, happiness is very much a now emotion. It's not something that you can plan for the future. Oh, when I get this, this and this, when I have this, this and this in my life, then I'll be happy. It doesn't work like that. It's an absolute instantaneous emotion and feeling, and it's something in the now. But there are lots of different ways we can cultivate our heart to prepare for happiness, and our mind to bring it in. So I just thought I'd introduce a few ideas of how you can actually access that. I believe we all have the ability to respond to life in lots and lots of different ways. So responsibility, the word responsibility often has a bit of a heavy feeling to it. So I like to just change it around and look at that as the ability to respond. And I'm all about choice. You know, we talk a lot on my channel about you having the choice to do things differently. You know, if we're ever in a funk, if you're ever in a place where you want to change it, if you're not as happy as you really want to be, the great news, the truth today is you can have more happiness. Whatever your line of happiness is today, in a moment or two, you can change it. You can be more happy. With whatever your lot is, whatever it is, you can be happier. And there are many different ways of doing it. One of the ways that I cultivate to allow happiness to find me and enrich my life is my sense of humor. I have a you know, so everybody looks at life is differently. Some people are more serious and flippant, and humor is very broad, isn't it? It's very broad. But I found through my studies that one of the biggest drives of unhappiness, one of the biggest areas of slavery and depression and comparison to others is all about our fear of humiliation. And, you know, majority of us in our childhood in the school playground at some time or other have been massively humiliated. I've had a number of those. I really have had quite a lot of those in my lifetime. You know, from coming out of the loo. Do you know what? I remember once we were in so my sister took myself an enabler over to California and various places in America for a wonderful, amazing adventure for her, one of her special birthdays. And she took us to a great restaurant, really amazing restaurant, which had a lovely meal. And I came out the loo and washrooms needed to go, came out, And I was wondering why everybody was looking at me in the restaurant as we were moving through. And my sister and her friend were following me out, and they were giggling away. And I was like, what's going on? And I just couldn't work it out. We get to the car. They let me get to the car before telling me that I had my skirt tucked up in my knickers. So now that's funny. When I got in the car, that was funny. But the emotions that went through was like, oh, I was like, how could you let me do that? And I was humiliated, and I was like, but then I found it really funny. And I thought, oh well, and then you carry on with your day. Or some people would be mortified forever for that. But you know, there's different experiences that we all have. I remember in my French lesson at school, I'm rubbish at languages. I'm rubbish at languages. And we were doing something or other. And yeah, the teacher asked us, we needed to sort of say what it was we liked about our day. And I ended up saying, je t'aime, I love you, to the French teacher in front of the class. So everybody fell about laughing. And again, I stood there for a minute thinking, what have I done? What is this? And it's in those moments of humiliation, you know, and there are lots of others. I could do a video on stuff that's gone on where it's pivotal moments. I remember them well, of course. And I'm sure it's given other people some happiness, actually, about my daft things that I've done and things that have gone on. But with age, as I've got older and I have more perspective, then it sort of doesn't matter. And it's actually quite good fun sharing that with you, because, you know, we all go through it at some stage or other. And so perspective is one that helps us to get to happiness. It's you know, is it really that important? What I'm worried about, that humiliating experience, you know, is it really going to carve out my future? Am I really going to let those daft things that have happened affect me so much that I can't be happy today? That's our ability to respond to memories, to things that have happened. And you know, I've got loads of really good memories in my life, as well as all the other gamut of emotions that humanity actually, being a human and living a full-on human life brings. But I choose, my ability to respond to life is I choose to spend the majority of my time, if I'm in the past, looking at the happiness, looking at the amazing things, how many sunrises and sunsets, how much children's laughter and grandchildren's laughter is around, how much friendship has enriched my life, the love of my life, all of these different things, the absolute amazing joy I get from walking my pathway and doing the thing I was born to do. So there's so many different ways. I could be thinking, you know, it's 7 a.m. and I've got to do this YouTube video. Somebody said to me the other day, oh God, Carol, do you worry about what you're going to put up next week? And I'm like, what? I've got so much to share. That hadn't occurred to me until we were chatting about it. So yeah, thanks for the thought, but no, I'm okay with that at the moment. So it's one of those things. It's like, you know, does it be a heavy burden, or do I choose to think, wow, what sort of positive mojo is there in me that can share with you today that might just spread that joyful message around? Okay, so another of the things, so yeah, fear of humiliation. It's early morning for me, so if anybody knows me, you know what I'm like. It takes me a while to get going. So yeah, so we can actually, so there's various things in our past that can actually dictate what our present consistent thoughts are, and that affects our day and whether or not happiness is in reach or not. But just have a look at that fear of humiliation, because it is a massive driver, and once you nobble it, it's fantastic because you can do something with it. The other one, there's just three. One is the fear of humiliation, to be aware of that so it doesn't own you, so you can be free of that and get on with your happy stuff. The other one is gratitude. You know, it really is a force for good to be grateful for something. You know, you could be in, you know, not have any food for the day, or be in circumstances where you just haven't got anything, and then you're massively grateful to have food in your belly that day, or a roof over your head. And in other parts of the world, people are complaining because they haven't had the latest gadget or whatever. It isn't about comparisons, and it's not about where you are or what's actually happening. It's about how you choose to respond emotionally to your events in your life. And you can actually craft a happy mojo and energy field through the art of gratitude. There was a study done in, I think it was Berkeley, California, who did this one, where they were working with people with anxiety and mental health issues. And they monitored 3 different groups, one of which did nothing, one of which where they got them to write down all of their problems, and one of which where they got them to write down a journal of gratitude. And they asked them to do that over a 7-day period. And what was interesting was they did MRI scans afterwards, and lots of other studies have come up with the fact that if you are spending some time during your week being grateful for anything in your life, it doesn't actually matter what it is, it changes the grey matter of the brain. And some of the the studies showed with the MRI scans that the benefits of the clarity that it brought to the brain, the benefits of the peacefulness, of the gentleness that it brought into the field of awareness, lasted a good 3 months after just 1 week of writing a gratitude journal. I think that's fantastic, because, you know, most of us are really lazy, so we start off with a bit of gratitude and then it's like bored, off to something else. But you know, this is we're recording this in December 2019. It's very near Christmas, so it's what about, you know, being grateful for all those people that you might be writing Christmas or season's greetings or whatever it is for you, cards too. What about sort of, you know, just telling them something nice that you love about them or you're grateful for. You know, if you spend the beautiful thing that science has proved about gratitude is it's mostly beneficial to you. If you're feeling gratitude, it's beneficial massively to you. But not only that, it drops down into the heart. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I love exploring living from the heart. And have a look at Heart Math Institute, because they're fantastic at showing you that by breathing deeply, by actually focusing inward to your heart, by focusing on love, focusing on peace, just for a few minutes each and every day, then the coherence of the pattern of the heart and the electromagnetic waves that come from the heart strengthen your clarity, bring they change your molecular structure. So to think good thoughts, to actually do some deep breathing, to bring peaceful thoughts into your awareness actually has a massive physiological effect. They've actually proved that there are more signals emitting from the heart to the brain than the other way around. That the heart often leads our life. So to focus on being grateful, that's a heart-based activity. Laughter, that's a heart-based activity. Love, that's a heart-based activity. Peace, heart-based activity. So all of these wonderful positive emotions are all heart-led living. So happiness is a choice. It's a now emotion. you know, I'm not scared of making a right fool of myself these days. It took a while to get there. So that's why you'll find so much laughter in my videos. I was asked to actually do a video on this to explain why I'm always laughing. And not always laughing, but I just find it, I'm not taking myself so seriously, I guess. And the idea of lightening things up, whatever comes my way. Of course, some things are a shock, some things are, you know, bowl you over. All of those things are very real, very intrinsic part of my life too. But shortly after is the pickup. Shortly after is the option of choice of which way to go. And I think you can guess the choice that I often am able to make. And I wish that for you. And I wish you all the wishes that you wish for yourself to come true in this happy season. And yeah, try and not get stressed with all this stuff that goes on around Christmas. Make it this year your year of happiness. Go for it. Try it. See what you think. You can all be grateful for something. We can all breathe deeply, connecting with our hearts, have a happy memory come to bear, focus in on that and spend 5 minutes each day just sitting in the heart with deep breathing and happy memories. That will change your auric field and you become like a lovely little happy mojo person that's or a peaceful, contemplative or grateful person. That's a real signature message song that comes through your aura. It goes out in waves and particles, and other people recognize that. Their lights go on. They may choose to have that happiness themselves, and they spread that, and they spread that, and they spread that. And before we know it, we're all into the love virus. And I think that's a real thing, because you are the change you've been looking for. So if you choose, whatever you choose it well and enjoy. Lots of love, soul to soul. Mwah. Bye for now.